Hello, and welcome back, beautiful YouTubers. This is your girl Devalo, and I'm back with yet another video. Thank you so much for joining. If you're a returning subscriber, you already know what to do, and I would just like to say thank you so much for the ongoing support. If you're new to the channel, please do not make that mistake of leaving without clicking the subscribe button. Wow, it's been a minute, but I'm back. First and foremost, everyone, I would like to start with apologizing for the inconsistency. I think it's almost a month now that I haven't posted a video, and I won't say I have any substantial excuse except that sometimes the slightest sign of success can be quite scary and we start to resist. So I've noticed some of the patterns that I have. Oh wow, living in South Korea is a wake-up call. It's waking up the girl to herself, because I am noticing a lot of patterns that I have that are not necessarily helping me to become the person that I would like to be. And one of them is self-sabotage. So with noticing how well my apartment tour video was doing and how much viewers and subscribers I've been gaining, it got a little bit scary, because of course to him that much is given, much is expected, and stepping into a whole new territory is scary. So I kind of like withdrew myself. I kind of held back because I was so scared of success. I finally understood the poem. I'm not sure what the name of the poem is, but it goes like this. Our deepest fears are not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fears are that we are powerful beyond measure. It is not our darkness, but our light that scares us the most. And it goes on and explains that we are so powerful and we are great. However, we are scared of this light because sometimes this light can separate you from the comfortable position that you are in, and it can separate you from people that you are comfortable around. But it goes on to say that you are not doing anyone a favor by dimming your light, but actually by shining your light, you are giving others permission to shine their lights as well. So here I am shining my light. Thank you for joining, and thank you for the patience. Thank you for the comments I've been getting, the inspiration to go on and see the success of my channel and grow into the person that I'd like to be one day. Okay, the core business of today. So in today's video, I would like to discuss money. We're going to be talking about money, salaries, benefits, and we're just going to take a look at the whole package of an ESL teacher in South Korea, and whether or not it is a good idea for you to leave everything in South Africa and come to South Korea and work as an ESL teacher. I'm also going to show you at the end some snippets of my birthday celebration and how beautiful it was to be celebrated by my colleagues, people that I've just met a few months ago, and wow, I must say they went over and beyond. I was very emotional on the day. Another thing that scared me, because I don't know, it's scary. It's scary to find don't get emotional. It's scary to be in a place where you meet people that love you genuinely, even with your flaws, because I am not perfect, not even close to perfect. And sometimes I am not at my best when I go to work. But nevertheless, they just okay guys, let us talk about something else because I'm getting a little bit emotional about it. Anyway, let's get into today's video. Right, is it worth it flying thousands and thousands of kilometers to come to South Korea, leaving your life back home and coming here and starting something new? Is it really worth it? Are the benefits good? Are the vacations good? I know a lot of people have done this video before. However, I feel like everyone has their own viewers, you know, and I would like to have one of these for the people that view my channel. And also some of the information could be quite outdated, and I could bring maybe just some information that is new. So yeah, hey, it's been a speech. Hey, I've been talking. Let's get into the video. The salary, the benefits, we'll end with the salary. That will be the cherry on top. We will start with all the benefits that you get as an ESL teacher. The first one I will discuss, that is one of my favorite, is that you get free housing. So when you are an ESL teacher and you're coming from a foreign country to teach here, on an E2 visa or an E2/1 visa, you should be getting an apartment, a single, what do they call these apartments? It's not a loft apartment, a studio apartment, or you can alternatively opt to get housing allowance. And a lot of people opt for the apartment building because with the housing allowance you will only be getting the money for the rent but not for the deposit. And in Korea, the deposits that you put on an apartment are quite high, so you might want to opt for the apartment. The studio apartment that you get would be something like mine, if you've seen my apartment building. If you've not seen my apartment building, please do go to that video. I'll try to link it in the description and check it out so that you can see what kind of apartments you could get. It could be bigger than mine, it could be smaller than mine, but I think mine could be the standard. It might not be, but that is the one, and one of my favorite benefits from teaching ESL in South Korea. So you do not need to pay for rent, but you do pay for your utilities. For me, my utilities work out to be like, they were like 250,000 in winter, and now they are going down because I'm not using as much heating. My last statement was 205, which works out to 2,800 rand. And yeah, so those are the rates, and that is the internet included in those rates. So I'm just giving you a rough estimate of how much you could be paying. You could be paying less. I think my director always says that my fees, my utility bills are too high, so you could pay less than that. Second benefit would be that you get healthcare. I've not, unfortunately or fortunately, I have not had the opportunity to use healthcare because your girl is healthy and she drinks her herbal teas and she eats her fruits and vegetables. Take it from me, I am healthy AF. If I don't say it so myself. So I have not had the opportunity to use the healthcare, but I do hear from my colleagues that you don't have to pay a large levy if you're going to use the healthcare, and you can get some prescription medication from the doctors. I don't really know, and I don't really want to get into detail with it because I am not really sure. So I will try and find out more, and maybe when you ask me questions on this, I'll be able to give you more information. I would like to go though dental and for optometrist, to the optometrist. I'm not sure if they cover that, but I will get back to you on that slide, on that information. Anyway, that is number 2 on my list, healthcare, which is great because, you know, if you do get ill now and then and it's a new environment, so you might need healthcare and it might be very useful. Number 3, I'm not sure if all schools, but I think most schools do provide meals. So you will get lunch from your school, which is a benefit because now you won't have to buy as much groceries as you would if you are buying, or if you're making your own lunch, supper and breakfast. So most schools in Korea, because I think it's Korean tradition to eat together, which is something I like, and to eat the same thing. So most schools do provide lunch. Another benefit is that you will get a free flight to come to South Korea. So if you're applying for a job, then you do not have to fly yourself here, but the school flies you here. Sometimes the school would say you pay for your flight ticket, but they reimburse you within 3 days of arriving or 5 days of arriving, or the first end of the month of arriving in the country. Then they give you back the money. But in most cases, they pay for your flight to come. In some cases, they pay for your flight to go back at the end of your contract, but not all cases. For me, they're not paying for my flight back, so I have to pay for that myself. But it is kind of nice to know that your flight is covered and you don't have to worry about that detail, which can be stressful because the application process is also a lot of documents that you have to pay for, and then the flight ticket as well would be an added stress. For me, my school paid the flight. They bought me the flight ticket and I came. You can talk to your school, especially if in a Hagwon situation, you can speak to your school and ask them to buy you the ticket. But I know with Epic, I think you have to buy your own flight ticket and they reimburse because it's a kind of like a program, and that's how it would work. Next on my list would be the holidays. This I do not regard as a benefit because in South Africa, I'm a holidays. Ziningi is the holiday in South Africa. But here, you don't really get a lot of, firstly, you don't get a lot of public holidays, and the paid leave days are not so much. So most schools, but you would have to check this one, would give you off on red flag days. That's what they call them. Red flag days are just technically your public holidays, but you need to check on that. My school provides that. So on red flag holidays, we get off and we don't have to make up for them, because in some schools you would get the red flag days during the week, but you would have to make up for them on a Saturday or a Sunday. Well, on a Saturday, I think, which doesn't make sense. But for my school, we do not have to make up for them and they are given to us. And then when it comes to holidays, we get 15 days off, and I know we get 5 days off for the July holidays, and we get 5 days off for the winter holidays, and then we have another 5 days that's spread across, like when you have maybe a holiday on a Tuesday, maybe they would give you the Monday off, but they would have to tell you that they're giving you that day off. So they are spread out across the year, the calendar, the yearly calendar. And yeah, it's not a lot, especially because you have to be traveling back to your country, which takes up to, like when I'm traveling to South Africa, it takes up to 2 days. It's like 24 hours cut into 2 days, and already 2 days gone for traveling. You need to rest, get used to the time zone, and then you need to spend 5 days with your family, and on the Friday you need to go back and come back to South Korea 2 days again. So that's for me is not a benefit, because I know what holidays are. South Africa has spoiled us. But yeah, it is one of the benefits of working at an ESL, as an ESL teacher in South Korea, I guess. And I would like you to also consider that when you are thinking about moving to South Korea, and how far you are from South Korea, and how often you want to go back home, because for me it's a must. It is a must. I am missing home like crazy. I'm missing the kids and my family like crazy. So think about it. Another thing would be the working hours that you need to consider. I also don't consider this as a benefit, because in South Africa you work from 7 a.m. until 2:30 and you're done for the day. Done. Business is over. You can go home. But here you work from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. if you're working for a kindergarten plus the afternoon activities, and you work from 1 p.m. until 9 p.m. if you're working for the elementary side of things, and you're just working for afternoon programs, which is not that nice, because it's kind of tiring. It's kind of tiring to spend so much time at work. But anyway, that's something you should consider as well. Okay, now we are talking money. I'm sure you've been waiting for this point. The money, how much do we earn? And whether or not it is worth it to come to South Korea. I started with all those points because when you're considering the job, you should also consider the time that you get, because as you grow up you realize that time is is more valuable than money. And if you're not going to have enough time to work on yourself, enough time to grow as a person, then maybe it is not that worth your while. But anyway, we learn through our experiences. The money that we earn as ESL teachers in South Korea would start from anywhere from 2.1 million. I would like to start with 2.1 million, but I think a safe guess would be from 2.3 million to maybe about 2.8 million. So they would look at your experience, especially your experience in South Korea as a South Korean teacher, and that would be the thing that determines where you start in your salary. So if we are to convert this to, I will convert it to South African rands because I'm from South Africa. If you are to convert, let's say 2.1 million to South African rands on a good month, which means the exchange rate is really good, which can be like 0.0146 is the highest I think I've seen it, and that would be like 30, sorry, can I work it out? Sorry guys, sorry. 2.1 million times 0.0146. 30,000. That works out to 30,000, but you need to consider that from that 30,000 or that 2.1 million, firstly they are going to deduct your taxes, your health care, and your utilities. My health care, the deduction is like 150,000 I think, and then there's 200 1,000 for utilities. So what do you get left? What's left after that would be the money that comes to you. It is higher than what we get back home in terms of the money that comes to you, the net salary. However, the cost of living in South Korea can be quite high in terms of buying groceries. So you need to consider that too. And tell me if you would like me to do a separate video where I show you the groceries and how much it could cost you to buy groceries, and maybe a breakdown of the expenses that I have to pay for each month. And I'll do that. Just send me a message in the comment section. Right, so yes, those would be the deductions, and you would be left with what you are left with. Are you able to save? I would say yes, especially if you do not have any responsibilities at home. You would be able to save a lot of money, and it would definitely be worth the while. But if you do have a lot of responsibilities at home, like if you have kids, if you have your own student loans that you're paying, or whatever you're paying off back at home, then of course the amount that you are able to save would be less. But having said that, I think it is still worth your while to travel all the way to South Korea to work as an ESL teacher, just because this is exposure to a whole new world. Besides all the benefits that I've mentioned, you grow as a person, you grow professionally, and it is just an experience that no one can ever take away from you. And yeah, I have been growing. I have been noticing a lot of things about myself and working on them, being patient with myself, and just, you know what, learning to love myself. Like, honestly, being honest and loving myself, the parts of me that are great, that are beautiful, and the parts of me that are the shadows, that are not so great, and learning to accept myself as I am. Because one thing that's been the biggest lesson for me so far is that in life we need a balance, the yin to your yang. And those shadows that you have are the ones that make the beautiful parts of you shine even more brighter. So I'm learning a lot, and I would like to say that it is worth your while to come and experience this. And for me, it's also great because now my children will get to experience a whole new world, and just change their perspective about life in general. Anyway, I've said a mouthful. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found value in the video and it was helpful for you. If you have questions, I do not mind answering any questions. Please do send the questions. For now, let's take a look at my birthday and all the things that I got for my birthday and how I celebrated my birthday. It's just a short video, but it's so beautiful. Like I said, I am in awe at the works of their hands. It's beautiful to see that people that you do not know would celebrate you and go the extra mile to make your day extra special, even though they didn't need to. So thank you a lot for watching this video. I've been talking, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy the birthday video. I'll see you next week. Now we need to do it on a week. Actually, I want to do it on a 2-weekly basis, so bi-weekly. I will see you in the next 2 weeks. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Okay. This is for me.
Yes.
For you. No lunch. I'm fine. I'll eat this one. It's all for me.
Mm.
Oh.
iced tea.
Oh, thank you so much, you guys are so sweet.
Let's give a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Miss Emily. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday! Happy birthday, everyone! Give a hug! I'm 21 years